Alright, today we're going to be replacing the pull start rope on my in-laws Generac generator. The process I cover in this video is going to be the same or similar on a lot of other pieces of equipment, generators, lawnmowers, anything with a pull start. And keep in mind that this is something you probably want to replace before it breaks. You know, in the case of a generator, if you're just using it for power outages, it doesn't do you any good if the rope breaks when you need it, right? So inspect your rope. Let's get started. This one should be quick. Alright, this is actually a Briggs & Stratton engine, and I know that because when I went to order a new spark plug and air cleaner, it was sort of cross-referenced with Briggs & Stratton. So 10mm bolts here on this pull starter. And this isn't one of those cases, I don't know if you've ever messed with them before, so like the old snowmobiles where you pull them apart and they just explode, and you spend the rest of the day trying to wind the spring back in. Yeah, we're not going to do that today. I already had it. And you might notice I left that top one in there. It just sort of helps to hold it in place, and then take it out. All right, that's what we're looking at. Now I already had this apart, but I figured I'd do a video on it, just kind of show you how it works. Okay, the good thing is it hasn't sprung, right? So it's still working. In some cases, when these let go, there's a spring on the inside here that can actually break or let loose, and that's not the case here. So what we're going to do is try to fish this rope out right here. Alright, so sometimes you take these apart and they have a little notch, and that makes it easier to wind this up and preload the spring without the rope getting caught. But we're going to use this rope as a stopping mechanism. So what we're going to do is we're going to wind this out. We're going to use the rope to hold it from winding back, because then we need to preload it probably, I don't know, I'm going to go an extra 3 turns, right, because it'll let go and we've got this little extra to go. And I'll show you what I mean. It probably doesn't make any sense just explaining it. And again, while you have this out, you might as well hit it with some lithium grease. You can see the dogs are flipping out like they're supposed to here. Sometimes when these sit outside like this one has, these get real stiff. Alright. I went too far. I'm going to come back to where the knot is here. Okay. And we're going to pull it out. Alright, now what I mean by winding it 3 more times is that it's preloaded, right? And if we put the new rope in now with the same length, it's not going to pull it back far enough because we have this much that was not in there. And also, it's preloaded a few turns anyways to give it a nice spring. So I'm going to go around 3 more turns, and I'm just going to use that rope piece as my measure. So I'll know that was 1, and that's 2, okay, and that's 3, and hopefully that'll be enough. We'll know when we put it back together if it's right or not. Okay, so now I'm just going to take I've got this piece out. I pulled it out of the handle already. I'm just going to wind it in there to prevent that from springing back. So I'm using it like a wedge. I don't know if you see that. Okay. Alright, so I've cut my rope to length. In this case it was about 5 feet. I just used the existing rope, and I went a little over because obviously we have to tie knots in the end. What I'm going to do now is melt the ends, and you want to give yourself something that you can feed through the holes, right? So, and you want to use a glove because it's hot, and you want to move away from the fuel reservoir. If you have gas in your lawnmower or your generator, you don't want to do this right over it. So, and then just roll it in your fingers. You're going to try to make a point. And if you don't have gloves, you know, you can do it with bare hands, but it's hot. It'll melt right into your skin. Okay, melted plastic. Okay, so you want something that you can feed through and that will not compress. So if you want something you can kind of put a little bit of pressure on to get through the holes that we need to feed the rope through. Okay, so get that done. Roll it in your fingers. Alright, let's go feed it in. Alright, so on this, we're going to feed it this way. Okay, it's just going to be easier because we can see this end of the hole. We can't see the other end of the hole. Keith wants to go in. And he's going to grab some needle nose here and pull it through. And I'm going to go right to the next hole, which is right there, and you can see the rope. Okay, just like that. Alright, now we need a knot on the other end, but let me go let my dog in real quick. Alright, so we're going to tie a knot on this end here. This is the end that we're pulling through. And make sure you don't tie it so close to the end that it'll pull apart. Okay. Oop. At this point, we need to be cautious because we do not want to lose what we've done here as far as pre-winding this. Okay. Now the other end. All right. Now we need to pull it through the handle. This one comes through the bottom, and then you grab it from the side. Sometimes they're right on the top here. I'm going to use some needle nose. You need some thin ones, or you know, a piece of wire maybe, or one of those little dental picks. Same deal. We're just going to tie a knot. Okay. That's like that. All right, now we're going to sort of test our pre-wind. Okay, now I did an extra 3 winds, you know, with what was in the pulley, and I may have to go 1 or 2 more even. So let's just see where we end up. Just gonna do it nice and slow here. Nope, I think we're good. Okay, that's what you want right there. Now watch these dogs when I do that. See how the dogs pop out? You can see I've sprayed lithium grease down in there, and it's a good opportunity to do that. So let's put this bad boy back on. Alright, we'll start with the top one here, just sort of hang it in place. So hopefully this video has been helpful. I may end up, I know I obviously have to do the air filter and the spark plug, which I don't know if those warrant a video, but I may end up pulling the carburetor apart. And if I do that, I'll definitely make a video, and I'll link it to it at the end of this one. If you found this video helpful, give me that thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this type of stuff, hit that subscribe button. It's right down there somewhere. Alright, thanks for watching. Have fun. And, you know, inspect your rope now. You know, what you're going to look for is a fray that looks like that. Right? And if you see that on your pull rope, replace it now, so you don't have to worry about it. Thanks for watching.